Now, this is a tiny, tiny, tiny little area between a regular electron and a minus electron, which is what's called a positron. You can actually find them and determine what the energies are. The 0 point is between those. But when you understand that a superconductor, in fact, is literally in between those two. The superconductor is a macro system that literally is flux flowing and living in the world of the quanta, and literally it has entered a condition that is really not a plus electron or a negative electron. It literally is in the 0 point. And yet it's huge, but it's literally within the 0 point. The position of the superconductor is within the 0 point. A pure type 1 superconductor or a single element superconductor like I'm talking about. It talks about in the Papyrus of Ani all these properties and characteristics that will come to be possessed by the people when they die and come before God. It's talking about being perfected, walking there with the angels or the light beings, and it says, what then is it? It goes on, does some more describing. It says, what then is it? Next page. You know, describe some more, what then is it? 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 You say, God, these guys are totally preoccupied with this what then is it, aren't they? Nobody who read that previous to my bringing it to their attention ever questioned this. It was just what they said. I said, but you know, somebody writing this, they got this real hang up about this what then is it? Right? Anyway, I'm just giving you some examples. It's a great big book, you know, the Papyrus of Ani. It's what then is it? Anyway, just want you to be aware of this. When you go to the complete works of Josephus, next page, and it gives you the definition of the what then is it. The word mana literally means, it translates literally to a question, what is it? That's what the word mana means. What is it? So this mysterious white substance that were being given to the Hebrews when they were out on the desert, just coincidentally were calling it the very same thing that they were calling it in Egypt 3500 BC. It's what is it? Or what then is it? You think that's a coincidence? Yeah, I just love this hieroglyph because this is the whole story. This is the whole story in a nutshell. It's a jackal Anubis, which is the black jackal, which symbolically represented the digestive system. Because, you know, a dog goes and gets something, he goes out and digs a hole and buries it and lets it rot and ferment, and then he comes back, digs it up, and chews on and eats it. So Anubis represents the digestive system. Here is the king offers the jackal, Anubis, the digestive system, the white bread. Okay, the white nourishment, the white bread. Okay, that tells you the whole story right there. That is the Egyptian rite of passage, coming with the white bread to offer it to the digestive system. To me, that one hieroglyph says everything. Remember that the Hebrews in the first temple, they had the Ark of the Covenant. They carried it on poles, and in it they had the 10 Commandments and the pot of the manna, or the what then is it. This is a listing of all the things that were supposedly taken from the first temple of Jerusalem. And right up there, I've colored the cones. You know, I don't know if you notice here, it has all of the things they took, and it shows what they are. And you can see the Torahs and the tables up here, and the offertory tables, the pots, everything. But here in these elongated cones, it says this one is silver, the white powder of silver, but all these others are the white powder of gold. And they're actually depicted as a long, elongated, triangle-shaped cone. Anyway, these are the things that were taken from the first temple, and there was white powder of gold taken. What is it? All right. And this is it was at the bottom here. And this is, says, code 138 on the left bears the superscription white bread, but was made of silver. So this is unique in that up here that says it was white bread, but it was actually silver. In Exodus, we learned that goldsmiths, not bakers, made the showbread. So it wasn't bakers that made the showbread, and it really wasn't called showbread in the first temple. It was called the bread of the presence of God. Okay, not showbread. It was when they built the second temple and the third temple that they started making showbread, not the bread of the presence of God. Anyway, this is Revelations. You know, what's supposed to happen when we will live for 1,000 years. We'll be like angels. We will literally know the thoughts of others. We will know the future, all these miraculous things that occur. There are no diseases, no illnesses. This is the end times. But to him that overcometh, he will be given the hidden manna, the white stone of purest kind, upon which shall be written a new name. You will be another new being. That's a prophecy, you know, from what, nearly 2,000 years ago. All right. It's referred to as the manna, food of the gods, food of the Spirit, bread of the presence, semen of the Father in heaven, the golden tear from the eye of Horus, or that which issues the mouth of the Creator. The Egyptian people were very literal people. They were trying to describe this material so that you would understand what it looked like. The white powder is so insoluble, if it's taken into your body, it will literally not dissolve in the hydrochloric acid of the stomach. You have to take the white powder and literally hydrolyze it so it looks like a white snotty material. Okay, it's a hydroxide. That white snotty material then will instantly dissolve in hydrochloric acid when it goes to the stomach and be assimilated in through the digestive system, go into the body and move all throughout your body. Okay? And so it was referred to by the Egyptians as the semen of the Father in heaven. And in the Egyptian rite of passage, you literally took into your body the semen of the Father in heaven. You were born again as a son of God, not a son of man, and you now were thought of as a god, not a regular man. And the Pharaoh was considered a god, and they looked upon him as a god, but he had gone through the Egyptian rite of passage. All right. You've seen the golden tear from the eye of Horus. You've seen it depicted. In the corner, there's a golden tear hanging in that eye with the eyelash on it, and the golden tear hanging over in the corner. That which issues the mouth of Creator, the spittle. It talks about it being the semen of the Father in heaven. These are all ways of describing to you what it looks like. This hydrated oxide of gold looks like semen, okay? And they were literal people. So they weren't trying to be crude. They were just trying to let you understand what it literally looks like. The whole idea of someone claiming to be born again as a son of God, you know, in the Melchizedek priesthood, in the Melchizedek priest, once a week would bring the manna and set it in the offering bowls on the golden table behind the veil of Holy of Holies. And once a week they'd come, and anything that wasn't gone they would take and ingest themselves. Then they set more out for the next week. And this is what they did in the first temple. The Melchizedek priests supposedly could read people's minds. They could see the future. They knew all things. Anyway, my objective right here, and I want this to be very clear, I didn't speak for 12 years. But what I've seen in all our medical work is that this material, when we analyze using thermogravimetric analysis on the iridium, rhodium, platinum, palladium, gold, and silver, what we find is all of them superconduct, but most of them are 200, 300, 400 degrees centigrade. Gold is the only one that superconducts at room temperature. Gold will literally superconduct at body temperature.